Well, this guy scored a D minus. I think with this guy, the best advice I can give you is walk away. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's more likely to talk big than actually climb very far in his career. While he likes to keep things organized and can sound very firm in his plans, he usually doesn't have the drive to push through the tough times or put in that extra effort over the long run. If stability and steady progress matter to you, be careful with this one.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to break down than bounce back. He may get very frustrated or angry when faced with problems, sometimes losing his cool or blaming others harshly. Recovering from setbacks isn't easy for him, and he needs time to calm himself down.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He is not the easiest person to work with, and trouble with coworkers is common for him. Because he tends to speak harshly and gets angry quickly, he often ends up in arguments or tense situations. Respect from others comes slowly, and many might keep their distance or find him difficult.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your own career, he might struggle to handle it gracefully. On the surface, he wants to care and support you, but deep down, your success can make him feel left behind or threatened. He may withdraw or become moody, especially if he feels he's not doing as well himself.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's likely to feel uneasy inside, even if he doesn't always say it out loud. He may sometimes show his discomfort through moodiness, cold behavior, or even harsh words. Over time, this can create distance between you two.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He tends to handle money quite carefully and likes things to be well planned, so you probably won't see him wasting money on useless things. He prefers to keep his finances neat and under control, watching where every rupee goes. If you value a steady hand with finances, this will be one of his strengths.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He's likely to live within his means and not pretend to be richer than he is. He prefers to stick to what he can truly afford and usually avoids showing off or spending money just to impress others. Still, day to day, he keeps things sensible and grounded.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is kind at heart and wants to help, but he can also be quite strict when it comes to money and sharing. You may notice he's willing to be there for someone in need, yet he won't easily part with his money unless he strongly believes it's the right thing to do. His caring side shows more through actions and support than through gifts or spending.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more on the controlling side when it comes to money, and he might not always share every detail with you. While he likes things to be tidy and under control, this sometimes means he keeps the reins tightly in his own hands. This can sometimes feel secretive, even if he believes he's just being careful.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that keeping the house neat and tidy matters a lot, but he may expect you to handle most of the daily housework. He likes structure and routines at home, so he'll notice the small things and may even point them out if they're not done. You may feel as if the responsibility falls more on you unless you set clear rules together.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to supervise than to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty with chores and diapers. He likes things done a certain way and may often watch over or point out what needs to be done rather than actually doing it himself. You might hear advice or instructions but not see him jumping in to help without being asked.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
Most of the time, he argues to prove he's right rather than truly listening to your side. When disagreements happen, he wants things his way and may quickly jump into defending his actions or decisions, sometimes getting loud or irritated. You may find yourself repeating your point often before he even tries to understand where you're coming from.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is more likely to say hurtful things or act aggressive rather than stay respectful. He can lose his temper quickly and might raise his voice, criticize harshly, or even say things he doesn't truly mean just to release his frustration. This kind of reaction can leave you feeling hurt or scared, especially if arguments happen often.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is definitely the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. He doesn't have much patience when things go wrong and is likely to react with shouting or harsh words, sometimes even over small issues. This kind of quick temper is not something you should ignore. It is a clear red flag.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry and take responsibility for his mistakes. When something goes wrong, he is more likely to blame you or the situation rather than reflect on his own actions. Often he may raise his voice or twist the story to make it seem like you're at fault.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may not always respect your boundaries, especially if he feels strongly about what he wants. Sometimes he might push or argue, trying to change your mind instead of stopping when you say no. He can be stubborn or even forceful in these moments, not realizing how important your comfort and safety are. If you need someone who listens and respects your words the first time, this can be a major concern.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is the kind of man who often takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He may see your no as a rejection of him, and this can lead to him feeling upset, moody, or even making sharp comments. Over time, this can put pressure on you and create tension in the relationship.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You need to be careful with him because when he's upset or angry, he might use private things you shared against you in a fight. He doesn't always think about the hurt it can cause, and in the heat of the moment, may bring up something personal to win an argument or make you feel small. Even if he regrets it later, the damage is already done.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not someone who is constantly chasing excitement or looking for thrills, so he's less likely to actively seek out other women for attention. His main focus tends to be on stability and order in his life, not flirting or cheating. Building trust and keeping honest communication is very important with him.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he can easily become over possessive, showing jealousy and wanting things done his way. He may question where you go, who you talk to, or get upset if you spend time with others, especially if he feels insecure. This can leave you feeling trapped or untrusted over time.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, in his case, what may seem like a protective nature is more about being controlling than truly caring. He might say he's looking out for you, but his actions will often cross into telling you what to do, how to behave, or who to meet. Real protection lifts you up, control weighs you down.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's more likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. While he cares about routines and wants things done properly, he often sees looking after the kids as mainly your job. He might step in to make rules or supervise, but rarely gets involved in the daily hands on parts like feeding, playing, or comforting.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. He can become impatient or even raise his voice, reacting strongly to small mistakes or emotional outbursts from the children. If you want a calm, patient partner with the kids, this is an area where he will struggle.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may find it hard to truly support you as both a mother and your own person. While he wants things in order at home, he often expects you to focus mainly on family duties and may not always value your need for personal time or outside interests. Over time, you might feel like you're losing your identity outside motherhood.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is very much the kind of man who could support your career at first, then expect you to quit once a child arrives. At the beginning, he might praise your work or say he's proud, but when family responsibilities grow, he may pressure you to focus only on home and children. You might hear things like, the kids need you more, or feel subtle guilt if you show interest in working again.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's more likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than treat them with real warmth. While he will follow the basic courtesies and won't create open conflict, genuine affection and easy bonding may be missing. Sometimes he might even avoid spending quality time with them unless he feels it's required. He is more likely to expect your family to change for him rather than trying to adjust himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to make things worse rather than handle it calmly. He may react with impatience, sharp words, or even anger, which can increase tension on all sides. His quick temper and need for control can turn small family issues into bigger conflicts.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to be modern with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. At home, he may seem open minded and supportive, but when family or guests are around, he will want you to follow traditional roles like dressing a certain way, speaking politely, or handling household duties. This double standard can be tiring and make you feel like you're living two lives.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he's more likely to stay out of it or even side with them rather than fully support you. He doesn't like getting involved in family drama unless it affects him directly, and he may expect you to adjust for the sake of peace. This can leave you feeling alone and unsupported during stressful times.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He definitely has strong ties to his mother and tends to value her opinions highly. In a conflict between you and his mother, he is unlikely to clearly take your side. This can leave you feeling unsupported or second in the family.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister. When things get tough, he may turn to them for advice or comfort, talking about issues that really should stay between husband and wife. It also means his family might judge you or take sides, making small arguments even bigger.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, all in all, not looking that great. This guy scores a D minus. As I mentioned at the start, I think with such guys, the best way is to walk away. Being in a relationship with this man can feel like walking on eggshells most days. You may find yourself constantly trying to avoid arguments or tiptoeing around his mood swings.